not an excuse. But we just have to pick ourselves up. These things happen in football. Sometimes you go onto the field and you've got to give credit to the opponents. In most situations they were better than us. You're not going to sugarcoat that. So we've got to give credit where it's due. But we just couldn't get our foot on the ball to play. Made a couple of changes at half time. I'm not sure if that was a tug on Hilda. I haven't seen the footage whether that was the last player was behind or not, so I can't speak about that. But we had one or two chances, but they had the better chances. And then the penalty shootout is always the lottery. So we dust ourselves off and move on. We can't look back too much. Yes, it wasn't a great campaign, but we got into the semi-finals, very close to getting to the final. So we just move on. Defended it, but they've also been a country that didn't defend it. In Equatorial Guinea won twice, but we didn't get there, and it was so close. I think what happened there took a little bit out of the players, especially in that game. And we always knew we were going to play in the third place playoff match, and unfortunately, we didn't do well today. As I said, we couldn't put our foot on the ball. They had the better chances. They sort of closed us down, especially when we wanted to play, put a lot of pressure on us, and that's why we made the changes that we made to be able to take control back, and we couldn't take control back, and especially that first 15 minutes after half-time. I think that probably changed the game a lot. And then we were chasing the game, even though it was 1-1. They then had that momentum after they scored, and we struggled to stop that, and started making a lot of errors, and we said play safe, play to the sides, play to the wings, and unfortunately, went into penalties, and as I said, penalties is a lottery, and anyone can win it on the day. I've been with the team since 2014, first as an assistant coach, 2 years as an acting coach, and then as the head coach, and it's a process, and unfortunately the expectations is always to win, and that is the thing with fans. They don't see the bigger picture. Sometimes there's a process, and we trust the process. As you said, we're also a team in transition, and we continue trusting the process, but fans are not trusting the process. All they want is results. They don't see what you're doing. They don't see how the team is evolving. They don't see those things, unfortunately. And unfortunately, when you're in the national team, that is what fans want. They want results. And you've sometimes got to give it to them, but we're not going to compromise who we are. We're not going to compromise what we're doing. We're not going to compromise the process, because we've been in similar positions. 2019, went to the World Cup, came back, lost in the first round to Botswana, Olympic qualifier. But we took that and we started building for the next. Then we went to the Aisha Buhari Cup, and I think that was the biggest surprise for everyone. But we were a team coming back. Then we had the WAFCON, we went to the World Cup. So, there's a process, and we trust the process. And unfortunately, people don't trust the process. They want to see results. So, like you say, everybody wants my aid. I said it now the other day, if the team does well, everybody gets credit. If the team doesn't do well, unfortunately, the coach is on the red carpet. So that's just how it is, as they say in the coaching circles. That's a very difficult question, because sometimes when you've given your all in a semi-final, it's almost like, do I really have to do this? But I don't think that was the thought. We knew that it was Jermaine's last game. We knew Gabrielle had given her everything on the field. So the message was, let's go do it for them. The message was, let's do it for the two of them. Let's give her the send-off. Let's do this for Gabby, who's really put her body on the line for the team. Jermaine has done so much for this team, and I think he's also done a lot for everyone. So we just wanted to honor the two of them, basically. So it wasn't a nothing match. We wanted to give everything that we had, but Ghana was better on the day, and you've got to give credit to. Can't sugarcoat it and say we had chances, we had this. They were just better. They were to the ball at times. Put us under a lot of pressure. And at times when we did get out, we made poor decisions, especially in the final third. But that's how the game sometimes goes. And I'm not saying that they wanted it more, because you go into a game, you don't enter a game to lose. I don't think so. We went to a game to win, but it just didn't work.
هذا البرنامج قدم لكم من طرف كوتي سبور. كوتي سبور منتوج المغربية للألعاب والرياضة.
MDGS نربحوا الرياضة.